Hi, it's Jason. Often, we get calls. Why is my water running slow? How do I put my pump in? How do I clean out my skimmer? How do I take my pump out? Today, I wanted to make a video on what we do with a skimmer box, which will answer all of those questions. As you can see, the water is running really slow over my waterfall. That means my pump is either clogged, my water level is low, or my skimmer box is clogged. Any of those questions are going to be able to be answered just by jumping into your skimmer, digging in, and figuring out what's wrong. So let's get started. So as you can see, we have hardly any water running into our skimmer box. That's because we have so many leaves, debris, and junk and everything on the outside of this and the skimmer basket is not quite in right, that everything is just clogged up. So we're gonna remove that out of there in order to deal with what we gotta deal with. If you noticed, as soon as I took that basket out, our water level came up. So if you ever see water in your pond higher than the level in your skimmer, it's because that basket and debris and everything is clogging that up. So the next thing we're gonna do is remove our filter mat. The one thing that I noticed though, that was not our only problem, because after I pulled that skimmer basket out, our waterfall has not gotten any faster. So we got our basket out, we got our filter mat out, and our water level is still running slow. We need to keep digging into the problem. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna remove the pump. In order to remove the pump, you may need a pair of channel locks. There's something in there called a check valve that only allows the water to flow up to the biofilter. And if you ever shut it off, what it does is it stops that water from flowing back. So it allows the water to travel one way through the pipe, but not the other. I almost forgot the most important step. Let's unplug the pump. The thing to remember, everything in here is plastic. So you gotta be very careful. I'm gonna use the channel locks to loosen it, but I'm not gonna use them to tighten it. So we can just loosen it a little bit, but be careful, everything is plastic. So I loosened it just a little bit, and you'll notice this water is starting to come out. I'm gonna loosen it more, and a lot of water is gonna come out. And it's gonna be a little bit dirty, because everything up in your biofall is a little dirty, and that's completely normal. So when I loosen this, it's gonna be absolutely normal for that water to flow backwards out of my biofalls. I think I found the problem. This plastic piece will not be able to come out until after your pump is removed. It's designed that way on purpose. Your pump sits down in here, and this connects up into the check valve. This is your filter pad tray. I'm just gonna take this out. We're just gonna take everything, and we're gonna go over on how to clean it up, and then we'll put it all back in. And I bet you when we're done, our waterfall will be running good. There's many different kinds of pumps. So if you have a different pump that you can't figure out, shoot us a picture of it and we'll do a video on how to maintain that style pump. But for this one's clogged up because of the cage here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this out on the outside and on the inside, and then we're gonna go into some other components. So there's nothing here on the inside, which is great. We're able to hose this stuff off and put it back together, and our pump is gonna be nice and clean now. This part here is your check valve, okay? This is the part that I was talking about earlier, that you could have unthreaded this from the bottom. And in here, there's a rubber flapper that allows the water to travel one way, but not the other. So if I didn't want all the water to drain from my biological filter, I could have unthreaded it here at the bottom. I'm gonna put the cage back together, I'm gonna put all this back together, and I'm gonna put it all back in. Remember, it's plastic. No tools. Don't use any tools at this part. You want to just make everything hand tight. Should be rubber gaskets in there. We're not going to use any tools. Before you put your check valve, it needs to come up through here, and this has to go down underneath. So we're going to insert this end in first. Our check valve went up through the middle, and then we're just going to push this down flat. Rethread in the check valve. This cutout right here is made to go around your check valve. So we're going to want to make sure that that goes around the check valve. So one more thing, the final step, what we're going to do is we're going to plug it in, and water should be flowing much better. So I hope that makes sense on how to check your skimmer, clean all the components on the inside, remove your pump, put your pump back in, and turn everything back on. If you have any ideas for future videos, please put it in the comments below. Please remember to like and subscribe. And until next time, keep building your outdoor dreams.